what did you decide to do? How come you didn't go to Harvard or Yale Law School or some other great law school? How come you decided to do something that probably not that many Rhodes Scholars were doing?
Well, at first I actually went into, I went into the world of finance, and I was there for a little while working at Deutsche Bank in London, and it was great and it was nice. And then I tell you, David, I remember getting a phone call, and I think I was a brand new analyst working on deals, and it was from my good buddy at that time, Major Mike Fenzel, who was with the 82nd Airborne Division, and he said something to me that he said, "So when are you going to get into the fight?" And that was indicting for me, as because I trained. I'm a paratrooper. I'd gone through all my training with my soldiers, and as my soldiers are now deploying to Afghanistan and deploying to Iraq, I was working in high finance, and I literally went back and thought about it and prayed on it, and I went back and called him back up, I think a couple of days later, and said, "Mike, I'm in." And so I ended up they ended up doing a by name request for me, and I left finance, and I went and I joined up with the 82nd Airborne Division. I went actually down to Fort Benning to go do my training and moved up, and then literally probably around 9 months after that conversation that I had in the stairwell of Deutsche Bank with Mike Fenzel, I was getting ready to deploy with the 82nd Airborne to Afghanistan.
All right, so you go to Afghanistan, but did you ask for an office job there, something that you could be kind of not be shot at or something like that?
No, not at all. I was very clear. I went over and I led a group of paratroopers as a special operations officer there, working information operations, psyops, which is psychological operations, and we were very much in the field. And what was interesting is that so much of the conversation at that time, 2005, was Iraq. We had about 150,000 troops in Iraq at the time. In Afghanistan, we only had about 17,000 troops. And so I remember actually when I got deployment orders for Afghanistan, there were a lot of people like, "Oof, at least you're not going to Iraq." Not knowing the kind of fighting that was going on in Afghanistan at that time. And literally within the first days of Afghanistan, I started seeing firsthand, literally when you see a first firefight, you start seeing just what kind of fighting was going on in Afghanistan.
So how long were you over there?
I was over for a little shy of a year, for about 10.5 months.
Okay, then you came back to the United States?
I did.
And what did you do then?
Then I actually started working back in, so I did a White House fellowship. Mike Vance, same gentleman, was a former White House fellow. And actually I came back from a mission one night and he said, "I want you to apply for this thing called the White House Fellowship." And he said, it's important for people back in Washington to get a firsthand understanding of the year that you're having right now, so they can actually see what's going on the ground. So I applied for a White House fellowship. I was blessed to receive it, and I had the honor of working under then Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and her team, which was just an unbelievable and a life-shifting experience for me to be able to go through that.